Welcome to Dog Facts Funny, and today, into the quiet logic of dogs. Dogs are often described as loyal, loving, and eager to please, but those words only skim the surface of how attachment actually forms. Long before excitement or obedience appears, a dog is already making emotional calculations about who feels safe to follow, rest near, and rely on when the world feels uncertain. If you've ever noticed a dog bypassing the person offering treats or calling their name, choosing instead to sit beside someone who isn't asking for attention at all, that moment is not accidental. It is the result of a process that began almost immediately. In this episode, we explore how dogs really choose their person, not through rewards or commands, but through signals of stability most people don't know they're sending. Attachment begins with regulation, not affection. Dogs do not attach first through love as humans understand it. Their bond begins with regulation, the ability to calm their nervous system in the presence of another being. Before affection, play, or loyalty appear, a dog's body is asking whether this person makes the environment easier or harder to manage. From the earliest moments of interaction, dogs monitor breathing patterns, movement speed, and emotional consistency. A person who moves predictably and reacts proportionally helps the dog's nervous system settle. This settling is not conscious, but it is decisive. Once a dog feels regulated near someone, attachment has already begun. Everything that follows, following behavior, proximity, responsiveness, grows from this foundational sense of safety. Why trying too hard can push dogs away? Humans often express affection through intensity. We reach, talk, repeat names, lean in, and escalate interaction when we want connection. For many dogs, this intensity reads as emotional noise rather than care, especially in early bonding stages. Dogs are sensitive to pressure, even when it comes from positive intention. Overly animated voices, constant touching, and repeated commands can overload their ability to stay regulated. This is why dogs sometimes gravitate toward the person who seems calm, quiet, or even uninterested. That person is not demanding engagement. They are allowing the dog to choose proximity freely. In the canine world, choice creates trust, and trust creates attachment. Emotional energy. How dogs read what you feel. Dogs are exceptionally skilled at reading emotional states. They track micro-changes in posture, facial tension, breathing rhythm, and tone long before a human is aware of them. This sensitivity evolved not for affection, but for survival within social groups. A calm person provides a stable emotional climate. Their movements are measured, their voice remains even, and their reactions are predictable. This consistency tells the dog that nothing urgent or threatening is likely to happen. Over time, dogs begin to seek out the person whose emotional energy feels easiest to exist around. Not the most exciting, not the most entertaining, the most stable. That stability becomes a reference point, and eventually, a source of comfort. Proximity without demand. How dogs share space. Dogs bond through togetherness, but not constant interaction. When a dog chooses to lie near you without being called, touching without leaning, or resting while facing away, they are sharing space rather than seeking stimulation. This kind of presence is often misunderstood as indifference. In reality, it reflects deep trust. The dog feels safe enough not to perform, engage, or monitor constantly. Allowing this quiet proximity strengthens the bond more than active play alone. It tells the dog that connection does not require effort or vigilance. Being together is enough. Routines that signal safety and belonging. Dogs live within rhythm. Daily patterns create structure, and structure reduces uncertainty. Morning greetings, predictable walks, familiar feeding times, and consistent household movement help a dog understand the shape of their world. When you become part of these routines without disruption, your presence turns into an anchor. The dog begins to anticipate you not as stimulation, but as reassurance that the system is intact. Over time, routines become emotional landmarks rather than habits. Even your absence is measured against the reliability you've established. That predictability turns you into someone the dog can orient around, especially in moments of stress. vulnerability, care, and the memory of safety. Moments of vulnerability shape attachment deeply for dogs. Resting, sleeping, grooming, and recovering from stress are all times when the nervous system is exposed. How these moments are handled leaves a lasting imprint. Gentle physical contact, especially around the chest, shoulders, and neck, can activate early memories of care. Not restraint, not dominance. Care without expectation. For some dogs, particularly rescues, this kind of interaction creates a visible softening, a release of held tension. Dogs also watch how you behave when nothing is happening. When you are tired, distracted, or emotionally neutral, your consistency matters most. If your presence remains steady even without engagement, trust deepens quietly and permanently. How dogs really choose their person. Dogs do not choose the loudest voice or the most active presence. They choose the person who listens without demanding, who moves without urgency, and who allows closeness without control. Their attachment is not automatic. It is renewed daily through emotional clarity and respect. If a dog follows you from room to room, rests near you during quiet moments, or seeks you out when uncertain, that choice is intentional. It means your presence organizes their world, and that means something. Before we move toward the close, it's worth sitting with what this really means. Dogs don't choose us once. They choose us repeatedly, through thousands of quiet decisions that happen below the surface of behavior. Every time your dog settles near you instead of staying alert. Every time they move through the house without checking exits. Every time their body softens simply because you are there. These moments are not habits. They are confirmations. What looks like ordinary companionship is actually the result of countless evaluations of safety, predictability, and emotional steadiness. Dogs are not asking whether you are perfect. They are asking whether you are consistent. Whether your presence lowers the effort required to exist in the world. Whether being near you costs them less energy than being alone. When a dog begins to relax around you without watching, without waiting, without preparing, that is trust no longer performing itself. It has settled into something quieter, something structural. You are no longer an event in their day. You are part of the environment that allows them to rest. Before we close, let the calm linger for a moment. Dogs don't announce their attachment with ceremony. They simply begin to rely on you, quietly weaving your presence into their sense of safety. Over time, closeness stops feeling special and starts feeling necessary. If this episode helped you see your dog's behavior differently, you're already paying attention in the right way. And if you'd like to continue exploring the unspoken language animals use to choose us, you're welcome to subscribe. Not for noise, but for understanding. We'll meet again in the quiet spaces dogs choose.